right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Monday, November 11th, 2024. Happy Veterans Day, everybody in the United States. This is episode 748 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. And over the next hour, me, you, Casually Joseph, Kimberly from the Lanai, Eric Taylor and the Barricade crew, DJ B-Sec in the green room, all the veterans like Luke Canfield and Kerry and Alpha Sierra and like so many others. If you're a veteran and you feel comfortable sharing it, drop it in chat. Thank you for your service. We got a good one for you today, guys. Over the next hour, we're going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So what can you do with this information to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders? Or perhaps you're looking to break into the industry. Well, guess what? Settle in, get comfortable, because this show is absolutely for you also. You're going to be asked in most job interviews, how do you stay current? Ding, ding, ding. This is the winning answer. Second of all, you get exposed to all sorts of terminology and concepts. And third, the networking is phenomenal. Sierra Montgomery's here, Space Tacos, Toasty Pops out of the Kansas City crew. It's all about good times up in here. Tom Bishop, the boot with 24 years of service. Heck yeah. Nice job, Tom Bishop. Guys, I got to tell you, it's all about good times. And we see Rick's veteran up in the upstate, Port Zero. Listen, guys, I got to tell you, if it's not asked explicitly in the job interview, we in the community have seen multiple instances lately, which is just even cooler because so many people are landing jobs, that just being here, just being exposed to the concepts instills that confidence and peace of mind that like, I got this, I know this. I'm not just cramming to pass a cert exam or something like that. So stay here, high fives. Thank you so much, everybody who's dropping in chat about their service, like Travis and Cybersec JS. Oh, it's so good. It's so great to see everybody. All right, guys, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I certainly did, celebrating my birthday, a little OPSEC drop, but that's okay. It was good times. Guys, before we get into it, let me tell you something. I don't prep or research for any of these stories. So you're getting my rough, rugged, raw opinion and thoughts on it, just like we work together at the house. Semper Fi, Trey Black. Happy birthday yesterday, Trey, right? All right, hey, guys, check it out now. Let me give some love to the stream sponsors. Starting with my boy, Eric Taylor and the crew at Barricade Cyber. Guys, listen, Barricade Cyber Solutions is absolutely dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But guess what? Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Believe that. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links at the description below. George Strasburger with a super chat.
Just become best friends. Yep.
Thank you, George, with the 1798, hitting the mark on the year there. Happy birthday, Marine Corps, and Dr. Jerry. Happy Vets Day to all. You are awesome. I will say I saw a really funny. Let me just pull this up since we're taking a moment here. I saw this really funny. This is so on brand for Marines. I saw this yesterday. Happy Veterans Day, Marine Corps birthday first. The Batman Robin slap. LOL. All right. Genuinely appreciate all that. I also want to say, thanks, Sierra Montgomery. I also want to say shout out and love to Threat Locker, stream sponsor. And we saw Threat Locker the other day with Danny Jenkins, CEO of Threat Locker, joining us on Simply Cyber Firesides. Let's get a quick note from Threat Locker, and then we'll get back and start the face melting with the cyber news. Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. All right, thank you, Threat Locker. Keep it going. Feed me crayons and I will be your friend forever. Lucas, you Marine. Many of you, hey, you know what? It's not Tidbits Tuesday. It's Community Member Mondays, and we'll be featuring one community member in the mid-roll today, but I do want everyone to know if you were a Marine and you happen to be on the East Coast, I am very familiar with Jacksonville, North Carolina. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, or Actionville, as many of us would call it, right? Get your tattoos and your get your tattoos and your pistols just outside the gate. All right, guys. Hey, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. Excuse me. So say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, file it away once a year, count the screenshots, divide by 2. It is easy as that. Now, I want everyone to know that I am going to be speed running today's show as I have to go to the airport again and hop a flight to Atlanta. But don't worry, because our friend DJ Bisek is going to be swooping in and taking the helm, moving it from the B-hole chair into the A-hole chair. So Bisek will be the A-hole later today in the show. And I do enjoy that joke. I probably lean into it a little too much. But so we got that going for us. Really quick, Simply CyberCon CTF was over the weekend. It is shut down now. I want to say congratulations to all the participants who played. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is the final scoreboard. Now, Jebediah and Gomes did complete all of the challenges, but Gomes completed it first. So Gomes is our official CTF winner, and we hadn't talked about it as a community or anything, but I'll if you can get with me, Gomes, I assume that you're listening to this at some point, hopefully, or if someone knows who Gomes is, we can get with them. You will be getting, I guess, like a black badge. I haven't quite figured it out. We have a couple extra badges from the con that Chris Whitlock made, and I will be like spray painting one black or doing something, so you'll have an official black badge. We'll be like a real con, right? Congratulations, Jebediah. Code Brew, I saw Brent Book trying desperately to wrap it up and get it in there right at the end, but I only got 3 flags, sorry. And then Chris Whitlock, Burned Hard, Zach, Brumbo, Cyber Research, and P. Stafford. Good job, everybody. I did try to make a walkthrough yesterday and got incredibly angry. So don't worry about that. There will be a walkthrough at some point, just not what I was doing yesterday. I got so mad. Anyways, all right. Do me a favor, everybody. If it's your first time today, drop a hashtag first timer on chat. Yeah, Phil Stafford, I just came up with that about the badge. Like, well, there'll be other ways. If it's your first time, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Otherwise, hashtag Team SC in chat. Jenny Housley's here, so let's slide into the stories. Ladies and gentlemen, let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. I will see you all at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, November 11th, 2024.
All right. Hey, Natalie Rhea, not sure if you're a first-timer in chat, but what's up? Good to see you.
Welcome to the party, pal.
James McQuiggan with a super chat.
We just become best friends.
Birthday cheers and greetings from Copenhagen to you and my oldest daughter and the Marines. Thank you all for serving and have served in the afternoon here. So beers cheers. All right. Coffee cup cheers. Cross time zones to James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet with a beers cheers. Okay, hold on. Gosh, there's so much coming in here. Cryptic, first timer, welcome to the party, pal. Hey, squad members, if you can drop a first timer John McClane emotes for Cryptic.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Also, Matthew Rain's coming in hot. Good morning. Happy Veterans Day. I'm not a veteran, but today is a big day for a different reason. First day coming from a service desk position to a junior SEC analyst position. Matthew Rains, you get out there and you crush it.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
So good. We've got to put a wrecking ball emote in the squad tray. I'll take that for action. I got to go to Atlanta for a few days, but by the end of the week, we'll have a wrecking ball. Way to go, Matthew Rains.
Sean Kelly. U.S. financial regulator calls for reduced cell phone use at work. A U.S. regulator, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB, has issued a directive to employees to reduce the use of their phones at work due to the growing threat of China-linked APT group Salt Typhoon. The threat actor is alleged to have recently breached several major telecom providers. Instead, CFPB is asking its workforce to use Microsoft Teams and Cisco WebEx for meetings and conversations involving non-public data. The CFPB clarified that the directive is a risk mitigation measure and that there is no evidence that the agency has been impacted by the telecom incidents. The CFPB was created in 2011 to protect consumers in the financial sector, ensuring fair, transparent, and competitive financial markets.
All right. I mean, I don't know. This seems a little, I don't know what the right word is. I don't want to say plain, but like, this seems, I don't know, like my kid came up with a solution, So employees who work at the U.S. What is it, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, stop using your cell phones for work stuff because China's going to hack them. That's basically what they're saying. They're saying use Microsoft Teams and Cisco WebEx. Guys, this is 100% an example of friction and tech stacks. Okay, hear me out. When you give a user base some solution and you say, here's your option, use this solution, and that solution is really difficult to use or frustrating for end users, it introduces friction. And when there's friction, people tend to find other ways to have less frictionful experiences. So if I have to set up a Teams call to message you about something and you don't answer your Teams, I can't really leave you a message. I guess I send you an email. So now we've got two bands of communication going versus if I just text you, right? I respond to text way quicker than I respond to other things. If I'm in the break room or I'm going to Starbucks or I'm at night, right? Even though I'm off the clock or whatever, like my phone is right there always. With Teams, maybe I don't put Teams on my phone because I don't want to bloat my phone out, right? Or WebEx. I don't even know if WebEx has a phone app. It might. But my point is, this solution is fine in theory, but you need to understand, executive team, that, and this, I'm extending this past this agency. I'm doing this as like a generic because it's anything, right? When the executives say you have to use this, well, then be prepared to have people working less efficiently. And I know you're not supposed to work beyond your 9 to 5, but let's be real. People work, nights, weekends, whatever. Like I'll just quickly reply to this email or, whatever. I'll just get this done. If you introduce these frictionful experiences, people are like, F it. It's too much, F it. I'm not even gonna right now because whatever. Tons of people in chat. I mean, if you have a feeling about Microsoft Teams that's family friendly, drop it in chat. I personally don't enjoy it. I find I just yesterday I upgraded to Microsoft 365 for Business Premium or whatever because now I'm a real business, and it immediately bloated in Teams. I booted my computer up and it's like, oh, I see you want to use Teams. Teams is essentially like a 2024 version of Clippy. No, stop. All right. Now, if Salt Typhoon is hacking the telcos, right? So Salt Typhoon is a advanced persistent threat actor out of China. They're suggesting that China is actually kind of setting up, again, not a political show. China is kind of setting up the infrastructure for a comprehensive attack potentially on the United States or other Five Eyes countries. I think we saw Germany getting a similar attack or Singapore. Yeah, Volt Typhoon kind of did an attack on Singapore. It was in the news last week, and it was like a test run of what they could do to the United States. So we'll see. I don't think using your phone is going to make or break anything, okay? There's a ton of telemetry out there. All right. Yeah, now I will say final thing. DJ B6 commented here in the green room about politics. This is all employees at this agency. Here's my thing. If you are a VIP, like a real VIP, or you have to deal with really sensitive things, right? Like you're a banker for the oligarchs in Russia or something, or you are one of these people that is like, that person that Google paid like $1 billion to come back to, like some AI super guru. Like if you're one of those people, sure, your phone's probably going to be targeted. But if you're like Tom Pine working in like engineering level 2 at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, like you're probably not getting hacked. Okay. I'm sorry, Tom Pine. It's just, I don't think it's interesting to try. All right, let's go.
FBI warns of spike in hack.
And by the way, I fully understand that, yes, you could target one individual and then use some type of social engineering attack, get them, pivot around. I get all that. I'm just saying in reality, I don't know.
Police emails and fake subpoenas. The FBI is urging police departments and governments worldwide to bolster email safeguards, citing a recent rash of hacked police email accounts to send unauthorized subpoenas and customer data requests to US-based technology companies. Authorities make these requests, known as emergency data requests or EDRs, to obtain an array of user account information such as email addresses and what sites users have visited. EDRs largely bypass any official review and do not require the requester to supply any court-approved documents. The FBI says it's seen an uptick of government and law enforcement credentials as well as EDR request process info emerging on cybercrime forums. One cybercriminal who uses the nicknames Pwnstar and Pwnipotent is selling fake EDR scam packages for between $1,000 and $3,000 per successful request. The hacker is even offering a full refund if the EDR requests are unsuccessful. A startup called Codex is trying to tackle the fake EDR problem by working with data providers to pool information about EDR submitters to make it easier to spot an unauthorized EDR. Codex founder and former FBI agent Matt Donahue said far too many police departments in the US and other countries often do not enforce basic account security precautions, such as requiring phishing-resistant multi-factor authentication.
Okay. Couple things here. First and foremost, this guy said, I think it's Sean Kelly, who sometimes jumps in chat with us. He said EDR like 30 times. In our industry, EDR is kind of appropriate. Like EDR means endpoint detection and response. Like it's tough. What they're talking about here is emergency data requests or something like that. So just so if you heard the word EDR, emergency data requests. If you heard the term EDR a bunch of times, they're talking about that. They're not talking about anti-malware solutions. But okay, so check it out. If you do support law enforcement, be mindful of this. Obviously, there's a spike in these compromised FBI email accounts with requests coming out for data, whatever, right? So threat actors, very wisely, weaponizing the ability for authority of the FBI in order to get access to sensitive information. Now, I don't know what kind of data they're requesting. Obviously sensitive information. It might be insights into an ongoing case. It could be to tamper with or find out who's a confidential informant and then eliminate that person, right? So it can go really dark really quick. What I would say here is it's really, really frustrating because this problem has been solved like decades ago, okay? Two things. One, obviously, you need multi-factor authentication on your emails. Like these FBI email accounts are getting hacked. Chances are they don't have MFA, right? You can compromise somebody's creds and their MFA token or MFA to get into their account. So MFA isn't a silver bullet, but I do want to point out it goes a long way to reducing the risk. So if you're not using MFA FBI, then what the hell are you doing? Okay, second of all, listen, guys, all you would have to do, like decades ago, we came up with asymmetric encryption public key infrastructure, PKI. You know, I know it's a real pain in the A, but guys, we can use it, okay? Stay with me. There's this amazing thing called digital signatures. Oh my God, paradigm shift. If the FBI implemented a process that, data requests, subpoenas, anything of official capacity required the email to be digitally signed by the person sending it, I don't give a damn if you don't have multi-factor authentication and your password is SolarWinds123. If it isn't digitally signed, it's not going, you could just assume the integrity is compromised. That's what PKI does. Okay. And I get it. It's not easy. Oh, it's so hard to send an email from my phone. I know maintaining PKI is hard, but what do we want to do here? Like issue fake subpoenas from cyber criminals who are issuing them, or have integrity? It's all, here's the deal, guys. In the world of cybersecurity, my GRC Mafia people, where you at? Like, in the world of cybersecurity, there's risk. And the way that we mitigate risk down to acceptable levels is by introducing controls. Now, controls introduce friction in a lot of instances, but what's your risk appetite? Are you okay having fake, fraudulent FBI, like from legit FBI email accounts being sent to local law enforcement to issue subpoenas and tamper with evidence? Sure. Okay, then. No PKI. No. We can't do that. That's unacceptable. This is making front page news. What should we do? I don't know. Hire some people to maintain it. The solution's there. It's just implementing it.
Cyber scoundrels target UK senior citizens with winter fuel payment texts. As the winter season kicks in, scammers are targeting senior British residents with bogus winter heating allowance. And
Silicon Shecky says security needs to allow for people to do their work. Anything else will get bypassed or not followed, period. Yeah. You got to enable the business, y'all.
cost of living support scam texts. The scheme attempts to capitalize on the UK government's recent controversial stance on cutting winter fuel payments for approximately 10 million pensioners across Britain. The dubious texts prompt victims to visit illicit domains that collect personal and payment information. Researchers have identified 597 domains related to this campaign so far. UK citizens should refrain from clicking such links and forward suspected scam texts to 7726. Phishing emails can be forwarded to report@phishing.gov.uk.
All right, Roswell, UK, and others. If this is a great opportunity to get into your community, your older generation. Really, I mean, this is for UK citizens, but this could be for everybody. Around the Thanksgiving table this year, share that this is happening. Obviously, you might want to have like a follow-up story that's a bit lighter, like whatever, like NFL football or like Detroit's Lions season or something, like end on a high note. Don't just be like scammers are killing it on old people, but like make them aware. Shout out to the United Kingdom for having a reporting mechanism for everyone. Because I got to go to the airport, I'm trying to speed run this. Can I just say scammers suck? All right. And the fact that they're exploiting elderly people, if this wasn't a family-friendly program, I would do double middle fingers to this story. Instead, I'll just say it. Okay. You suck. Exploiting elderly people, you are there's a special place in hell for that person or people.
New iPhone reboot feature may make it harder for police to unlock them. On Thursday, reports surfaced that law enforcement officials were warning one another that iPhones being stored for forensic examination seemed to be rebooting themselves. These reports were subsequently corroborated by security experts. The reboots appear to take place on iPhones running iOS 18.1 after their fourth day in a locked state. After the reboot, it's harder for phones to be unlocked using password cracking tools. Some security experts are hailing the new feature as a huge security improvement, while authorities may find it to be a hindrance to their investigations.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, hey, really quickly, Robert Randolph. James Randolph. I did not see Jen Easterly lose her mind, but if you send me a link, I'd love to see what you're talking about. Okay, so check it out. Apple's got a lot going on, but Apple does identify as a hardware company, right? And the iPhone, Apple's got this whole campaign going that they're like all about privacy, privacy. And they've got some weaknesses, right? Obviously, code's written by humans, some weaknesses, but they're pretty good. And now I guess they're implementing a new feature, which you're basically not going to have a choice. You're going to pick it up. where when you reboot it, it adds a level of security. I guess maybe rebooting and then having it like soft boot into something was part of an attack sequence on cracking an iPhone. Guys, the stories come up. Oh, lost my mind? I don't know. I didn't see Jen. I don't know what you mean. Okay. Hold on, I lost my train of thought here. Alana Boyajian, hello from Shanghai. Briefing as part of a cyber awareness week for our team members in the Asia Pacific region. Way to go, Alana Boyajian. What's cracking? 26 months. No big deal. Longtime squad member, Alana. All right, guys. So basically, law enforcement doesn't like it because they like to get into criminals' phones. You're going to listen. This argument is a tale as old as time. Cue the Beauty and the Beast dancing ballroom scene. Law enforcement wants backdoors and magic keys to be able to get into any tech that they want. This is called the surveillance state, and ultimately what 1984 was based on, right? Now, the argument will be made, don't you want like these child predators or these, devious miscreants, these organized criminals, these hitmen to be discovered quickly? Yes, obviously. But it's a slippery slope because, we can use it to take down someone who's a really bad person today. But then next week, Johnny Law is like interested in my wife or whatever. And then they're abusing their access to like spy on me as a private citizen, seeing if they can dig up some dirt so they can destroy my marriage, right? Like, that's just a silly example. But my point is, these tools, they have righteous intent. But like, look at anything. It gets abused. Look at Pegasus. Pegasus spyware is supposed to be for good only, right? And we're finding it on political dissidents, investigative journalists. We've seen people get rounded up in other parts of the world and get eliminated. Okay, so it is what it is. Remember that there was a really a great example of this. San Bernardino mass shooter. Law enforcement took him out. He had an iPhone on him. FBI wanted Apple to unlock it. Apple said, we can't do that. So then the FBI wanted to take Apple. It went all the way to the Supreme Court, and ultimately the FBI bailed on it because they got some research out of Australia to crack it open. But my point is, this is an ongoing beef.
And now I'd like to thank today's episode sponsor, ThreatLocker.
ThreatLocker's
Zero-day
everywhere.
exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night. Worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker helps you take a proactive, default-deny approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation are fully supported by their U.S.-based support team. To learn more about how ThreatLocker can help keep your organization running efficiently and protected from ransomware, visit threatlocker.com. That's THREATLOCKER.com.
All right, we got the mid-roll. I forget the first time name. Cryptic, we do this every day. All right, we are on schedule, which is not good because I want to be ahead of schedule, frankly. Guys, shout out to you, all of you. You. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you so much for being here. I feel like when I was a kid, I got Veterans Day off. We had to send the kids to school today, so I don't know what's going on. Hey, D. Barry. Yes, sir. Guys, check it out. Now, I want to say thank you all so very much for being here. Shout out to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, ThreatLocker. I got the wrong card up here. Hold on 1 second. Magic. There we go. Now we've got the right one. All right. Hey, if you're getting value from the stream, hit that like button. It goes a long way to help others find the show. Honestly, it's not because I'm like, go put my kids to bed at night. I'm like, look how many likes Daddy got. No, literally, we're trying to trigger the YouTube algorithm to get more people up in here. Sean Saylor's kids are out of school today. All right. Must be a South Carolina thing. Anyways, shout out to all you. Let's hear from Antisyphon really quickly. Where is it? All right, 30 seconds with Antisyphon, and when we come back, I'm going to tell you who the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week is. I don't know if he's, he is definitely in chat. So stay tuned. We'll be back in 30. Quality cybersecurity education, regardless of financial position. Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon training powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high quality cutting edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. All right. Thank you so very much, Antisyphon, for supporting the channel. Hey, Chuck Sapp, good to see you in chat. Guys, every single day of the week has a special segment, and Mondays is the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week presented by ThreatLocker. Guys, ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity. Just like it takes a village to secure your business, it takes a village for Simply Cyber to be what it is. Thank you, ThreatLocker. This week's community member who will also receive a $100 Amazon gift card, compliments of ThreatLocker, is none other than Luke Canfield. Hey, Luke. Luke Canfield, one of our many service members, former or active service members in chat. Happy Veterans Day to all y'all. Luke Canfield, connect with me so I can get you that Amazon gift card. Although I will be like hauling butt to the airport, Luke, so I might have to get it to you on Wednesday. Just, whatever. FYI. All right, everybody. Woo! All right, let's get our laws on really quick and then jump into the back half. Come on. Oh my God, that never gets old. Never gets old. It's so good.
Malicious PyPI package steals AWS keys. According to the application security firm Socket, a malicious Python package named Fabrice, spelled Fabrice, has been present in the Python package index since 2021 and steals Amazon Web Services credentials from unsuspecting developers. The package has been downloaded more than 37,000 times and executes platform-specific scripts on both Windows and Linux. The large number of downloads is likely due to the package using typo squatting to mimic the legitimate SSH remote server management package Fabric, which has more than 200 million downloads. Typo squatting risks can be mitigated through performing both manual and automated checks of PyPI downloads and by limiting permissions to download resources through AWS Identity and Access Management.
All right.
Recent Windows 11.
If you work in a company that has developers, thank you, James Randolph. If you work in a company with developers, if you're making tech, even if it's in-house, like some businesses, they're not tech companies, but they'll have in-house solutions that get developed. Honestly, with AWS, you're probably a DevOps shop anyways, but I digress. If you're using AWS in your pipelines or Azure, honestly, this malware steals AWS creds, but I'm sure it could be ported quite easily for Azure creds as well, or Google Compute or Google Cloud, whatever. TLDR, this is a common attack vector. Let your developers, research engineers, whoever, let them know that this is a real thing, okay? Typo squatting. They just added an extra letter, right? I could create a new account called DJBSeek, right? Like an extra E instead of DJBSec, and then use all the same graphics and all the same turntables and microphones and all those things, and then, pretend to be DJBSec, right? This is kind of similar, right? It's literally a malicious package that looks right, and it's a super popular package, 2 million downloads. So this one, some unsuspecting developer, 37,000 times this happened, stole the AWS keys. So basically, a threat actor gets creds and then can log into your environment and do malicious stuff. So, keep an eye out for that. And obviously, if you do suffer a compromise, you gotta rotate those keys. Gotta rotate those keys, baby.
An update to break SSH connections. Microsoft has confirmed that last month's Windows security updates are breaking SSH connections on some Windows 11, 2022 H2, and 23 H2 systems. The services are failing with no detailed logging and require manual intervention to run the sshd.exe process. Microsoft said just a limited number of devices are impacted, but they are still investigating whether Windows 11 Home or Pro editions are affected. Until a fix is available, Microsoft has provided customers a temporary fix that updates access control list permissions on affected directories.
All right. So vulnerability management, it's a thing. You got to update. You got to patch it. You got to patch it. All right. You got to patch it. And sometimes when you patch things, other things break. Dude, Microsoft operating system is hundreds of thousands of lines of code, right? It's a very complicated piece of software, if you want to call it a piece. I mean, it's a very complicated system. So yeah, sometimes crap happens. You just got to be mindful of that. Okay, so SSH breaks. And there's a fix for it. And it's a limited number of customers or devices, all right? So if you may notice some disruption in your environment when you patch to 11. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hold on. Let me not do this live on stream. Hold on. Someone just sent me something. All right, hold on. So anyways, TLDR, you got to patch it. If something breaks, it doesn't always mean it's malware. Sometimes it just means crap happened. Let's go.
Google says Chrome Enhanced Protection feature now uses AI. Google has quietly updated the description for its enhanced protection mode in Chrome's safe browsing feature to include AI-powered protection. Previously referred to as proactive protection, the AI-powered protection could allow Google to detect and warn users about potentially harmful sites, even those that Google hasn't previously identified. With enhanced protection turned on, Chrome performs deeper scans on downloads and improves protection across Google services when users are signed in. Google is currently testing the AI feature in Chrome Canary with no known timeline for rollout to all Chrome users.
All right.
Shall we play a game?
All right, there we go. AI, it's coming after you, right? It's all up in your business. So check it out. I use Google Chrome. I like it. Google has Gemini. Google's got tons of money, Fortune 5 company, billions of dollars, annual revenue. They can do stuff like this, all right? You know what? If it helps me stay protected, and if it helps Carl, and for those who don't know, Carl is an avatar for a token end user who's not interested in tech, just trying to do their job, but clicks on dumb things. If Google Chrome can natively protect you from bad, let's go, right? I'll take it all day, every day. So we'll see. I do want to say shout out to Security Technologies. Yesterday, I downloaded a just the source code of a reverse shell web shell backdoor for the CTF, and my computer was like, danger, Will Robinson, just having it in like my Sublime text editor. So way to go. Either that or I got compromised like literally at the same time I was screwing around with the CTF. That is possible as well. Fingers crossed I didn't. Okay. Anyways, you can imagine that this is going to continue to happen. I don't know if you need to enable this or not enable this. Personally, if it was me as a tech person, I would enable it and mess around with it a bit before I rolled it out full bore, right? To the end user community, just to understand if there are any trade-offs. Is it taking things that you're doing and sending it back to Google? I don't know. You do have to do a little bit of a risk assessment on this before you toggle on all the things. But end users love turning on all the things, like switch, turn on all the switches. But you got to be mindful of that. Okay.
Mazda Connect flaw allows some Mazda vehicles to be hacked. Trend Micro's zero-day initiative warned of multiple vulnerabilities in the Mazda Connect infotainment system that could allow attackers to execute code with root privileges. This occurs due to improper input sanitization in the Mazda Connect CMU. The researchers clarified that a threat actor would need to be physically present to connect a specially crafted USB device, such as an iPod or mass storage device, to the target system. The vulnerabilities impact systems installed in multiple car models, including the Mazda 3 model year 2014 through 2021. These issues currently remain unpatched, and there are no publicly known vulnerabilities in the latest firmware version.
All right. I mean, this is cool, right? This is cool. Car hacking is a whole thing. What's up, Mr. Green? Listen, car hacking's a whole thing. If you're interested in hacking cars, there's a automotive car hacking village that's been around several years at DEF CON. You can get into it, right? There's been examples. Charlie Miller hacked a car, Jeep Cherokee, and was able to like drive it off the road. We've seen the Kia boys unlock cars. That's not really a car hack as much as it's a Bluetooth attack on a access control. But Mazdas are getting hacked. Now, they said, oh, Mr. Green, you're funny. They said that you need a specially, built USB device, and it's a Mazda, right? So there's no active exploits in the wild. This is one of those ones where it's very cool, but like, let's think about it for a second, okay? And I'm not throwing shade. I know it's going to sound like I'm throwing shade at people who drive Mazdas, but just hear me out, okay? What's the attack sequence here? You have to convince somebody who owns a Mazda, or like you either have to get into the Mazda with a USB that you built and plug it in and then take it over somehow. I don't even know like what the impact is. You can execute arbitrary code with root access. Okay? Or you have to convince somebody who owns the Mazda to plug it in. This is very cool, but this is like borderline academic research. Like, what are you going to do? Oh, I can play Doom on my heads-up display in my Mazda 3. Okay. Like, this isn't allow you to steal the Mazda, right? So, like, I guess this is cool, but like, in my opinion, the likelihood is low. Who's going to do this? And if they do want to do it, to what end? This isn't the 90s where it's all about just doing things for the lulz. I mean, that does happen a little bit, but this is cool, but I don't really see this as very likely. And even if it is likely, the impact isn't really that bad, right? A physically present attacker could exploit, and successful exploitation could lead to arbitrary code execution with root privileges. Again, if I was going to do a risk assessment on this, bottom left quadrant, okay? This is in the green. This is basically informational. It's highly unlikely, and the impact is pretty low. Like, you won't be able to listen to your podcasts while you drive because okay? Like, whatever. All right, let's keep going.
And that does it for today's Cybersecurity.
All right, that does it. Now, before we get out of here, and remember, don't go anywhere because we are going to be joined by the very talented DJ B-Sec in just a minute. I wanted to share something amazing with you. All right, hold on. I want to see if he's here right now. He is not here. All right. This is pretty dope, guys. This, like, literally, this is breaking news. This just came across the wire. Okay? This is coming into the studio live right now. Check this out. If you can't see, this is Daniel Lowry. Daniel Lowry posting publicly on LinkedIn right now. Exactly 1 week ago, I lost my job, but today I'm thrilled to announce that I start as a content creator for Antisyphon and Black Hills InfoSec. Yes, sir. Daniel Lowry, my man Daniel Lowry. Love myself some Daniel. First of all, talk about his ride or die, Kathy Chambers, talking about working with Zach Hill. Look at this guy. Freaking legend. That's what this is right here. This is what a legend looks like. What a stud. All right, guys, I just want to say this is an example of networking, putting good out into the environment, being positive, and just being awesome. Daniel Lowry, unemployed for less than a week. What a stud. Oh, my God. All right. All right. Hey, I want everybody to remember that DJ B-Sec's going to be taking over. But remember, at 9:30 today, a.m. Eastern Time, so in 44 minutes from right now, Simply Defensive drops their Episode 7, Season 1. These guys are having a baller of a season, wading through logs. Joshua Mason, or Joshua SC17. These two are straight killing it. Or as Justin Gold might say, it rips, right? I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Guys, thanks so much for understanding. Luke Canfield, I'll get with you ASAP. I got to get to the airport and get on a flight to Atlanta. Hot Atlanta. If you're in the Georgia area, let's go. All right. Guys, be well. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next time, I'll be, oh, hey, by the way, I'll be in the remote studio with Team Sippy Cup tomorrow, live from my hotel room in Atlanta. Guys, be well. Thanks so very much. And until next time, stay secure. Don't go anywhere. DJ B-Sec's going to be bringing up the jaw jacking. Holler! Cybersecurity. Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking.
Holy smokes, look who it is. I'm back from a 2-week sabbatical. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Making sure my mic is hot. Y'all can hear some music. I've made a couple of changes. I do have a timer. You can see a timer at the top counting down. We got a quick little timer that'll show us when we need to wrap everything up and hop over and watch old Wade Wells and Josh Mason and their podcast for this morning. But you guys go ahead. This is Jawjacking. You guys go ahead and throw in questions. I'll answer what I can answer. We'll go through some things. I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer much because my brain is mush. I've spent the last week and weekend studying for CISSP, and I thought I knew a lot before, and now I know nothing. So much stuff. So much information. Y'all throw a... You can throw a Q in front of everything. That way we know that there is a question that's coming in. But yeah, throw those questions in. Let's get some jawjacking working. I think the last time I talked to everybody was at Simply CyberCon. If you were there, I was sitting in front of old James McQuiggan while he tried to run track 2 the whole time. Let's see, hold on. We're going to put this one up. I just saw this. We got to throw this up. Where is it at? There it is. Oh, Daniel Lowry's in the house. Just wanted to stop by and say thanks to Jerry and the whole Simply Cyber community. Everybody over here is ecstatic for Daniel and moving over to Antisyphon. It's going to make a hell of a team. They're already a hell of a team over there as it is. All he's going to do is make that team exponentially better. Space Tacos, I see your question. I will be sitting for... oh, John P. is saying it's not as bad as I think. Well, all the... what gets me are all the gotcha questions that we've got on here. Just some of the things they... And I put this in here earlier in chat, and somebody said, well, what do you mean a gotcha question? And what I mean by a gotcha question is a question that is so vague, and then they give you every single answer on there is a possibility, and it's which one is the best. And the problem is being a practitioner, what you might think is best as a practitioner doesn't necessarily mean it's best as a management or somebody talking to a board level or something along those lines. That's going to do best for the business. And you have to come at every question as what's best for the business, what's secure. It's those type of things. Let me see if I can find Space Tacos in here. Space Tacos says, when are you taking the CISSP? I have scheduled my test for 2 weeks. So not this week, but next week. So I've got this whole week to continue to study, try and understand the questions that are being asked. Because it's not that I don't know the information. I've been studying. I took a class last week. There are a couple of individuals that were in the class with me, and we've set up a study group, and we've been studying. We studied over the weekend, and we all know the information. It's not that we don't know the information. It's that the way that they're asking about the information, that's the problem. So if they're asking a specific way and you see an answer and you think that's it, and then once you actually click the answer and you find out you got it wrong, and you go back and look at why they ask for another answer or why they said this is the answer, then you can argue. Like I was told in study class, man, B's like, you can argue both sides of this. You can argue that yes, this is for this, or no, it's for that. And I said, well, as being a practitioner, I can see both sides, and the problem is seeing both sides is hindering me from finding the right answer. Roswell, yeah, they say it's an inch deep and a mile wide. I will say this about the test and about the studying. It covers a lot, but I can guarantee you, if you've been in the industry, and this is probably why they say you have to have at least 5 years in the industry and on. If you've been in the industry long enough and have been around the block, so to say, a lot of the stuff that you see, you go, oh yeah, I know that. I've done that. I've heard of that. I've been in a meeting where they've talked about that. I've seen that. But the problem is they want it with all of this information. You have to do it as though you are the expert and you know it all. And hold on. When your book is this, I think there's 1,500 pages between this book. There's 1,100 in there. And there's another 700 or so in this one. So there's a lot. All right. Angular wants to know if Jerry Sippy Cup has a name. I'm not sure if it has a name. Luke Canfield said that makes me feel better about the SSB. I don't know what I said makes you feel better. Oh, Zach Hill is in here. Whoa, Antisyphon's come flying in here. I see Space Tacos giving Zach Hill a shout out. Fred on, can you share your CSSB experience? So there's an I in there. I didn't do CSSP. So CSSP is the cloud the cloud professional. I did not do cloud. The instructor, while in the class, the instructor said, once you guys pass the CISSP, the next thing I would take would be the cloud. So I'm assuming you're asking me about CISSP. Over the last couple of weeks, I kind of already shared a lot of this, but over the last couple of weeks, it's daunting. There's a lot when you're trying to. It's not that, like I said before, it's not like you don't know the information. It's that how do you come to the exact answer that they're asking for when the question is always asking what's the best method. There's no direct answer. It's always what's the best. And when somebody says what's the best means what? It means it's an opinion, right? So that might be your best opinion, or that might be your best answer, but I can, like I was told, I can argue why this is the best answer as well. But I didn't write the question. This other person wrote the question, and it's his best answer, not mine. We got questions coming in left and right. I see questions being put in mod chat. I'm trying to find them in here so I can put them up on the screen. Let's see, Luke J. I just recently, so let me see if I can find that one. Oh, I see Becky's on here, so exciting. When you take the test, yeah, I take it in 2 weeks. Not next week. Oh, this is the one I was looking for. Here we go. I recently became a member in YouTube. Awesome. Who do we contact in Discord to get the SC membership role there? I think you can just click. I'm not sure. Justin may know. I think if you just go into the server roles, that may work. Or what you may have to do is you may have to. I bet this is what it is. I think you've got to add your YouTube username to Discord. And if you add your username, you match up your username to Discord, then it should add that role in there, I believe. Changing from SOC to NetSec tech. Any suggestions for things to keep in mind? So Jay and Michael, SOC, you're going to be hammered with a lot of alarms. So I'm assuming by NetSec you're saying in network security. So depends on what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be involved with specifically. Are you actually be doing configuration of this stuff to secure it, or are you going to be kind of in that SOC role where you're finding information that's coming through and then sending it off? Put that in there and let me know, because it kind of depends on what it is, because in all reality it's kind of hard for me to tell you what you should be looking for or suggestions to keep in mind, because it 100% depends on how the network is set up, how many VLANs you have, what VLANs can talk to each other. Are you using routers? Are you using firewalls? There's, the switches that you're using. It depends on a whole bunch of different things. The mindset is going to be, how do you make the network itself as secure as possible without, this is the same thing in every security realm, right? How do you make it as secure as possible without hindering the people from actually being able to work? A lot of stuff, once you get the internals, and by internals LAN, once you get that all set up and good for the most part, at that point, now what we're doing, we're looking, how are we going to keep the bad guys out at our endpoint, or at our edge? I think John P's asking about, or saying stuff about, I knew about 15 questions 100%, and the rest of the questions you might be able to eliminate. Yeah, so that's a great there, John P. So one of the things that we're doing, you can almost right off the bat get rid of two answers, because two of the answers on these things have nothing to do with the question. But then those two answers that do are so similar. Like there was almost one question where they literally had, one of the answers was a synonym of the other. And it was like, which one do you pick? It's crazy. Angular saying best of luck. Thank you. Hopefully I can do it on the first round. I was told that there's a 20% pass rate. I looked up and I think there's only 156,000 as of 2022. I'm sure there's definitely more now. Maybe we're getting closer to 180 or so, but there's only 150 to 180,000 people in the world that have this certificate. So it's a goal of mine. It's been a goal of mine for about 5 years. And now I'm finally taking a plunge. There you go, John Brock. Same thing, man. Get after it. It's a lot. There's a lot to it. Nathan Allison, do you like giving vendors a vendor SSID password that does not expire, or one that will expire? I lean towards one that expires. So Nathan, depends on what you're running. So the system that I run actually allows me to set time. I don't know if you've got one that's saying set time. I know you've got the SSID expires. if you're going to if a vendor's coming on and you have the ability to create an SSID for them and give them access to it and throw them on their own VLAN so that it's all split out and they're not on your network and so forth, 100% do that and set it to expire. You know why? Because now you don't have that open SSID, or they don't have the ability to connect into. So as somebody that's doing security, 100% you want to do that. You want to make sure that they're doing that and that it does expire, whether it expires at the end of the week, whether it expires at the end of the day. 100%, if you have the ability to do that, and you can, and you're not going to stop business from being done, then yes. Can you please share your exam experience in detail after the exam? I will. I'll see what I can do. There's for this specific test. Well, for most tests, there's an NDA that comes along with it. So you can't. I can talk about the experience itself. I can't go into extreme depth about it, right? So I can tell you what I did to prepare. I can tell you how long I've been in the industry. I can tell you the kinds of questions that are on there, but definitely not going to be able to say, hey, question B was, or question 2 was answer B because it's this. That's not going to happen. Malware Trini comes in and says, honestly, the only thing that works for me when it comes to cert testing is just drilling down on practice tests and do it. I try to do it dozens of times. So Malware Trini, that's exactly what I'm doing. I've got 900 questions in one bank. I've got another 1,500 in another bank. And like I said, you can sit there and read the book. And when you read the book, you're like, I know this, I know this, I know that. But it's the way that the question's asked. So you have to get into the mindset of the way the question's asked to be able to answer it. So I 100% agree with that. Go over, and because we're talking about 8 different domains, you need to go through every single domain and, domain 1, hammer all the questions in domain 1. Are you getting 80 to 90% of the questions right? If so, then you're good for domain 1. Move on to domain 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Rhonda, this right here is me. That's the biggest thing, is getting out of the tech mindset and getting into what they say. I mean, I think there's a book that's written out there, getting into the managerial mindset of security and not the tech side. Like I told my wife last night, the whole thing is I have to think of myself standing at the head of the table in the boardroom and explaining it to people that are not technicians and say, this is why we need to do XYZ. And not be the person that's standing at the head of the table in the meeting and saying, we are going to use this specific software, hardware to do this, and this is why. I just need they need a 10,000 foot level in the boardroom, then we can drill down in the other room. Kimberly said, I heard in other classes, the more tech the harder it can. Yeah, it is. It's not that it makes it harder, it's the mindset. That's the problem. As being like, that's not how we do it on a daily basis. How long? Let's see. How long? So this is an interesting question. So back in 2020, when COVID hit, some of you are in this same Discord. So everybody here is in Simply Cyber Discord. I also mod over in another Discord called I just lost what I was talking about. What am I talking about? How long have I been studying? Ooh, brain fart. See, my brain right now is fried of what I'm trying to do. So I've been in 2020, around 2020, 2021. My buddy over in Cyber and Security, Neil Bridges, was like, go take the test, go do it. You'll knock it out, be done. He goes, I challenge you to do it, and I give you 2 months to go do it. And if you do it, I'll give you a big pat on the back or whatever. And I said, all right, I'm going to do it. And then I opened up the book and I was like, hell no, I'm not doing that. There's no way I'm going to pass that in 2 months. And he's like, you already know all this information. Now you just have to put your head down and do it. So I've been going back and forth, and I know people that follow me on LinkedIn or that are on LinkedIn, they've seen me put up the CISSP book and then go, I'm going to work on this. And then I flip and I go, I'm going to work on SysM. And then I go back and forth. I finally just bit the bullet and said, you know what? I got to pick one and do it. So I went ahead, did CISSP. It's sitting here. I've been hammering it down for I've been studying hard for the last week. And I will say the course that we had last week, or the training course that I had last week, once it was over and done with, it was one of those things where I was like, I could have probably taught that class, because the information that's in there, I can explain all of the information. That's not the problem. I can go through it all. The problem is answering the question that was asked. So everybody says I'll do fine. I probably will do fine, but my whole thing is not that I'm going to do fine on the test. It's a matter of fact, am I going to pass the test? Because you have, like I said before, 8 domains. You have to pass every single domain. If anybody's ever taken a Pearson VUE test, like when I took all the Cisco tests, CCNA, CCNP, you can quote unquote fail a section of the test and still pass the test. You cannot do that on this. You have to pass every single section. Yeah, John P, there are a couple of good people on YouTube that actually have great study techniques. They go through CCISP and discuss and talk about the best way to take the test. So Amish runway, what will I be doing with my CCISP? See, you see this wall back here? See all that? It'll probably go up right there. And I'll probably put a spotlight on it and be like, boom, there we go. I did it. I got one here. Start a new incident response position next week. What are some tips that might be helpful for a successful career doing digital forensics, law enforcement? Oh, for the law enforcement in the past 3 years. Wait, you've been doing digital forensics for the law enforcement in the past 3 years, and now you're wondering about incident response? You've been doing incident response. So digital forensics is part of IR, DFIR, digital forensics and incident response. What are you going to be doing for incident response? Are you going to be doing digital forensics for the IR team? You're asking me that question. I should be asking you that question. If you've been doing it for 3 years. Joseph and Jmod and Eric would honestly be the best ones to answer that question. Gigi, that may be a great question to come back to either tomorrow. Maybe I think Eric may be on tomorrow. You could ask him that, or Friday when you've got the whole crew from Barricade Cyber on here. To answer that question. They would be the best to answer that question. Cyber Butterfly says hi, hello, good morning. Justin Walker is saying, is digitally signed just encrypted with my private key? Digitally signed, yes. So digitally signed is, everybody sees that. You have, like, when you get a DocuSign, right? That's digitally signed. But there's an encrypted key in there that sends it over, and when they get it, basically what that's saying is it's saying that, hey, this actually came from this person. When this person sent it over, that's who it came from. Doesn't mean that the information in there is correct or any of that. It just means that it's coming from the person who sent it. Yeah, Luke, I'm doing the same thing. So I've got got the BOSIN exams, and honestly, the BOSIN exams are the ones that are ridiculous. The ones that going through those questions on there makes me think that those are going to be more realistic. Like when you actually go through it's not IC squared anymore, or ISC squared, they call it ISC2. When you go through those in the book, those are easy, quote unquote, easier questions. Like they're pretty much, hey, what is this? And there's an answer. It's not which one of these is the best. There's a lot of it that are, those are easy in there, which if you go to BOSIN, you feel like an idiot, and you flip over and you go to the ISC2 and you go through and you're like, oh man, I'm smart, I got this, I can go do this now. But that makes you realize you really need to find a couple of different banks of questions and how they're asked, because if you look over at one side, it'd be knocking it out, and then you move over to the other and you're like, what in the world is this? Yeah, what was it, 2 weeks ago? In fact, this kind of goes back to what Space Tacos was asking about how I studied. So I don't have the book up here, it's in the other room. 2 weeks ago, when we had the conference going on Friday, that whole week, during that whole week, I was jet setting, right? I had my private plane by Southwest flying me all over the place. I was going to a couple of different sites and doing some things. And that whole time I had the CISSP 11th hour book, which is smaller, more condensed, more, and I had, not only did I have the book, but I also have it in Audible. So I was able to sit on the plane, listen to it, and go through the book the whole time. So I went through that whole book, that whole week before riding up to the conference. And then starting last week, going through this whole class per se, and been studying directly from ISC2. We got about 15 minutes left, and then we're gonna jump over and raid into the podcast from Wade and Josh. See what else we got going on here. CSSP here. It's about having management mindset 100%, which does not always agree with the tech person 1,000%. And more importantly, you do not always get to decide, and you need to refer when needed. Yeah, so that's the other thing, is a lot of the stuff is inference, right? So a lot of the which in this mindset, so a lot of stuff is more along the lines of, hey, what's best? And you as somebody that's CISSP or whatever, you think this is the best, but in all reality, when you're sitting in a boardroom or whatever, when you're talking to somebody, yeah, you got the credentials. Hey, I did this, I passed it. This 1,200 page book over here, I know it. I'm able to take a test on it and pass it. This is what I'm telling you should do. But it's really not up to you, right? It's up to the rest of your C-suite, your upper management, to say, okay, that's a good idea for the business to move forward. That just because you know it and you're telling them, hey, this is what we should do, all you really are is you're an advisor, right? So you're an advisor to the president, you're an advisor to the CEO, to the board. This is what we should be doing, this is why we should be doing it. And in all reality, they've got the last they get the last laugh. But yes, we're doing it, no, we're not. Malware Trini. So look in Discord. In Discord, there is go to the Simply CyberCon Discord, and in the Discord section, in Discord, there's a section that says, I believe it's info. I'm looking. Under announcements. In announcements, Jerry posted how you get your CPEs, and it's in there. And when you click on that, it gives you the direct instructions on how you can get it. If you were not on a registered list, then your name is not in there. But you can still get a certificate that shows that you went, and it just doesn't have your specific name, right? It's going to have conference attendee. Oh, JMI, so you're going to be doing setup and secure binding. So you're going to be architecting everything. You're not just moving over there. You're going to be an architect and designing things. So, or I'm assuming that's what it is. This is what you're saying. So at that point, I don't know what certification you have or how deep you are into security, but at that point, I mean, for me, you need to write everything down. You're going to need to architect it out, understand it. I would virtualize the environment, not the environment itself, but make a virtualization setting of that environment that you have, whether it's in GNS3 or something along those lines. So you're familiar with it, that you know how it works, that you know how everything works back and forth. If you are one that's going to be dealing with firewalls and ACLs, I would basically do a dump of those or get a dump from the network people, so you can go through those and understand what they do and how they do, or how they work, whether it's the ACL for the security side or the ACL for the natting side. There's a lot, right? There's a lot to it, but in this sense, I would definitely, you're going to have to enthrall yourself with everything that's going on there, so you really understand the network top to bottom to be able to secure it. All right, I'm trying to run through these fast. I know we got 9 minutes, but I know there's a lot in here, and the mods are throwing them in chat, and I'm seeing them, and I'm trying to go through because I want to put your questions on the screen so they actually come up and see, because we do take these jaw-jacking, I said jaw-jacking, man, it's jaw-jacking. I threw the G on the end of that. We do take these and we split them up, so I'd like to be able to have the question on there that we're answering and talking about. What's the difference between a digital signature and encryption? The digital signature has encryption in it, or is encrypted. Yeah, 20%. I use a Cisco, and I just remember how this setup works. Okay, so yeah, there you go. So going back to the question you asked before, yeah, just make sure if it's not something, and everybody needs to do this, if somebody's coming in and they're only going to be there for a certain amount of time, that you know they're only going to be there for a certain amount of time, right? Hey, person A, vendor A is coming into our company on Monday, they're leaving on Friday. Set just in time permissions, set expiration for SSIDs, shut that stuff down. The reason you want to do that when you build it is because I can guarantee you on Friday, you're not going to remember it. And I can guarantee you the people that are working with them are not going to tell you that it's their last day. And if you don't do that, then guess what? You're going a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the line, a month, a year, and all of a sudden you look up and you're like, why do we have this SSID for vendor A? Or, hey, this account is open, but it hasn't been logged into forever, which is another thing we can talk about, which you should have something running in some automation in the background going, hey, this account has not been logged in for 10 days, lock it. There's a whole other thing, but yes, put expiration on the stuff. Going through, let's see, Edward Duffy. No, not Duffy. Defo. I recently graduated in cybersecurity and I've passed Sec Plus. Awesome. I set up a virtual home labs where I have been developing my skills. Another tick on the checkbox. What else more can I do for my first role? Anyone here? So what you're doing right now is perfect. You're setting up your own home lab. This is such a hard question to answer, right? Because everybody brings this specific question to myself, to Eric, to Joseph, to Jerry, to Justin, to Kimberly, to all the mods on here, or anybody that's on this channel and other channels, because I see it on other channels and other people answering. This question is so hard because we are talking about something that is this wide, right? I just said I'm taking a test that's a mile wide, an inch deep and a mile wide, and that's what it is. So when it comes to this, it's hard to answer this question, and the reason it's hard to answer this question is I don't know what you're going to be doing or what you're looking for. If you're going to be looking for a red team, like you want to go do pen testing, go try hack the box. Go get hack the box or try hack me. If you are looking for blue team, you can go to Blue Team Labs. You can do try hack me as well. They've got blue team stuff on there. Learn that. Depending on how deep you want to get, depending on how knowledgeable you want to be, you've got to go do that stuff as well. I keep hearing it all over the place that the job market sucks right now. We still have, X amount of security jobs that are out there, but nobody's getting hired. Which that's a whole other thing. But in a role like this, in something like this, you've got to figure out or got to know where you want to go, right? In all reality, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. In all reality, I know you've got a cybersecurity degree. You graduated. You need a help desk job. That's from me. You need a help desk job. Why do you need a help desk job? You need a help desk job because you get the lay of the land. You understand what's going on. You understand users. When we're talking about security, what are we talking about? We're talking about users as our top people we got to deal with. So a help desk position, number one, going getting a help desk, a tier 1 position in a help desk, allows you to get a foot in the door and pivot when you're in that company. You can pivot through there and go, okay, hey, the company has a network team, the company has a SOC team, they've got whatever, and you at the help desk, yeah, you're doing your job, you're knocking out because you already know all this stuff, you're good to go. And then you start talking to the other teams. Hey, what's it going to take for me to get over here? What's it take for me to get on a network team? What's it take for me to get on a SOC team? What's it take for me to get on the red team over here? Whatever it is. You can be like Josh Mason was and bring donuts and get everybody sick. No, don't do that. But, go in, have camaraderie with other teams and build yourself within the company. Oh, I'm trying to go through here quick. We got 3 minutes left. Albright, CCSP uses the item response theory, so no matter how... Yes, I know. That is true. Now, the other thing with the test is it's like if it realizes you know what you know, it's going to stop asking you questions about that and it'll move on. Like if I start knocking all the network stuff out, it's going to get out of there and it's going to start going, all right, well, what do you know about cryptography? And I'm going to be like, can we go back to the network stuff? We got a little silence in here. I'm trying to move fast. I know we got 2 minutes, 45 seconds and we want to wrap up. In fact, while we're sitting here, I am going to pull up. I got to pull up YouTube. I want to pull up. I'm going to pull up the podcast that's coming up so I can put this into chat. I do not see it. Now, Jerry said this is on here, but I don't see it. Does somebody have in mod chat, if anybody's around, does somebody actually have the video? Oh, here. Wait, no. That's 4 weeks ago. Ah, here we go. Perfect. Found it. I'm going to throw this in chat. It's going to come through well, I'll do it as me. So I'm going to throw this in chat. This is the link we're going to go to. This is a podcast. Looks like we've got From Cyber Beginnings to VP, an interview with Melanie Thomas. Wade Wells and Josh Mason in their Season 1, Episode 8, From Cyber Beginnings to VP, an interview with Melanie Thomas. That was pretty funny. All right. Then we got a lot in here. Man, there's so many questions in here. This has been awesome. I know we got 50 seconds left. I'm gonna see if I can find one real quick before we drop out. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, I found it. I threw it in there. Wait. Oh, crap. Oops. I guess I did the wrong one. All right. Justin got me the right one. Let me put in the correct. The one that I sent out is for next week. Let me put the right one in. So I just added this in. So let me rephrase that and say, in 3 minutes, we have Simply Defensive with Wade Wells and Josh Mason, War Driving Adventures, and Hard Hat Brigade Insights, Season 1, Episode 7. I was jumping ahead. Oh, man, there were so many questions. Sorry I did not get to all of them. Space Tacos, I do not know how many episodes. We'll have to ask Josh Mason or Wade how many episodes are in Season 1, but I know that they have said that they are already working on Season 2. So they're rocking and rolling over there. All right. From me to you and from Jerry and everybody else over here at Simply Cyber, we are going to go jump over, and currently it says that it premieres in 2 minutes. So let me drop this back in here one more time. I'm going to put this in as myself, and I'm going to put it in as Jerry. Let's see if this allows me to drop this in. Okay. Oh, I'm getting word in my ear from Kimberly. Producer Kimberly is on the she's saying that there's only one episode left. So it looks like episode 8, the one that I said a minute ago that was wrong, is going to be the last one for Season 1. And then we'll move to Season 2. But everybody jump over to that episode. It starts in 2 minutes. We will see everybody tomorrow for the Daily Cyber Brief. Let me see if I can drop all this stuff down, see if I can get an overlay so I can give an out clip of everything. That's my jaw jacking. That's not it. There we go. This is all right. From me to everybody out there, stay safe. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Everybody jump over to Simply Defensive. Let's go watch Wade Wells and Josh Mason talk about War Driving Adventures and Hard Hat Brigade Insights, Season 1, Episode 7. Till then, see everybody tomorrow.
Content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.